Telling everybody you're mine and I like it. And I really hope you don't mind, I can't fight it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to More Than a Face. So today I have two ways you can use liquid lipstick on your eyes. You can use it as an eyeshadow base and you can also use it as a liner. I really love doing these. It works out really nicely. Actually a lot easier than gel liner. So for the first look, I'm using my Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I'm putting this on my lids, and this is going to ensure that all my colors blend nicely, they look more vibrant, and they stay on longer. So using the, I'm always dropping stuff, using the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in the color Amethyst and a little bullet brush, I'm using actually a really small amount of product. A little bit really goes a long way. And it blends out really nicely because the formula is actually pretty thin. It doesn't have to be too perfect because you're putting eyeshadow on it afterwards, but it really does blend out pretty effortlessly. I wasn't even trying, and that went on really nicely. So just continuing with that same color on my lower lash line, just so everything matches nicely. And in the crease, I'm going in between the color Frappe and Curfew, both by Geek. And I started with a fluffier brush just to kind of get everything blending. And I actually took a more dense blending brush by Real Techniques, and I was blending that same color. And next is a really amazing eyeshadow called Dare by Colourpop. I just swirled it on my finger and packed it onto my lid. I feel like that's the best way to use these shadows, or with a synthetic brush. And a little tip to YouTubers, don't hesitate to check your phone and let your man make you laugh, because smiling is good in videos. Anyway, now I'm just taking, I think this is the 217 blending brush by MAC, and I was using Corrupt, which is a black matte shadow, and I also used a detail brush to get it a little bit darker in my crease, just to add some definition, make everything look nicer, and just blending everything out. So now I'm using the color Vanilla Bean and that same brush, I just cleaned it off, and I'm putting that in my brow bone as my highlight to make it stand out more. And I'm using the color White Lies, it's a matte white by Geek, in my inner corner. Now to tightline, I'm using the Master Precise gel liner on my tightline and my waterline, just to make everything kind of blend a little bit nicer. And I'm also using the Epic Ink Liner by NYX. This is my absolute favorite felt tip liner. Better than Kat Von D, better than Stila. It just goes on really nicely. It doesn't dry out like the other ones have in the past, and it just, yeah, I have not even enough words to describe. I added a little bit more black to the corner just to kind of wing my shadow out a little bit more and make it look more fluid and just better. Next, I'm taking my Falsies mascara by Maybelline, which is probably my favorite drugstore mascara. It separates, it adds volume, all that good stuff. And for my highlight, I used the Carli Bybel palette. I used like the light pink shimmer highlight. I actually really like it. I don't use this enough, and I really should use it more. So now, just using that same liquid lipstick on my lips. One thing I can say about this is it did kind of wear off a little bit more than the other colors in this line. I did notice that while I was taking pictures after I was done filming, it started to come off like in the middle of my lips and stuff like that. And it was kind of patchy, but it didn't go on patchy, so I don't know if I did something wrong because I don't use this color very often, but I just had to point that out. But this line and NYX in general has really, really good products. So that is the first look, using liquid lipstick as your eyeshadow base. I really recommend this for monochrome looks, all that good stuff. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. For this second look, using our liquid lipstick as a liner, I'm going in with the same Shadow Insurance again, and I'm setting that with the same to be announced Makeup Geek eyeshadow. And I'm using the Naked Basics palette. I really like this for natural looks. Since the colors are so cool, it makes it look like a more natural contour. It doesn't really look like you have eyeshadow on necessarily, it just adds depth. So I'm using the same technique as before with a more fluffy brush and using a more dense brush just to intensify the color a little bit. And I use the color Walk of Shame on my lid. It's like a matte light pink shadow. It's really good for the eyelid. It's really natural, really nice. Putting that on my brow bone as well to add a highlight, and then one more time just using this Makeup Geek brush to intensify my crease and to add depth to my lower lash line as well. And just using that white shimmery shade in the palette on the same places where I highlighted before. So now putting the liquid lipstick on the back of my hand. A little bit still goes a long way. You do kind of have to load your brush a pretty decent amount for it to go on opaque. It's really easy to press the brush down too hard and actually kind of scrape off some of the product. But for the most part, I mean, it went on. I got really crisp lines and it blended. Well, it didn't blend with the liner, but altogether, I really did like using the liquid lipstick as liner. Next, I'm taking, again, I'm taking NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color Milk, and I'm putting that in my inner corner and my lower lash line, just to open my eyes up a little bit more, and also I'm using that in my inner corner as a base for this light purple shadow by MAC. It's called Stars and Rockets. It's absolutely gorgeous. This was like one of the most used purples back in the day. If you used to watch makeup videos like 5 or 6 years ago, everybody had Stars and Rockets. So I'm just packing that onto my inner corner as a little pop of color. And that is how to use your liquid lipstick as eyeliner. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.